Hello and welcome to the Unplayables podcast with me, George, and we're all back again, the same gang. It's a new week, but back by popular demand, we have our special guest again. So I'll start by introducing him first. So hello, Henry.
Hello, George. You alright?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Connor, you alright?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Geez, all of you ask me if I'm good. It's so kind, all of you. Ryan, how are you?
I'm alright.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. In case I didn't mention. And Art.
As Tony the Tiger says, I'm great.
Brilliant. What a way
How
to
are you?
start. I'm good, thanks. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm quite good.
Are you good?
I'm actually not.
Oh, what's
we'll
wrong?
get onto that.
Oh, all right.
I can't talk about
Oh,
it. It's
true.
personal issue. No, I'm just winding you all up. I'm fine. Matthew's just liked our tweet. Second week of paternity leave now. He should be back soon, but I mean, Henry's doing so well that I don't know if we want him back.
Vote it. Comment.
Oh, yeah.
We'll create a poll.
Yeah.
Our editing team will get onto that. So today we're going to be discussing the Europa League semi-finals. We've got two Arsenal fans in. Henry, are you actually a Portsmouth fan?
I am, yes. But
Portsmouth.
I've got a soft spot for Arsenal. I wouldn't say I'm a fan,
Okay.
but out of the top four clubs there, probably.
Okay. And then obviously we've
Top
got
four.
Ryan, who is a Chelsea fan.
Hello.
So not enjoying the Champions League or Europa League at the moment.
No,
I mean they were in.
I'll enjoy the Europa League next season when we're in it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I won't talk bad about it because
Yeah, true. Because you're going to win it next season.
hopefully.
English dominance in the Europa.
Yeah.
Oh, just depressing, isn't it?
the new wave of mediocre English
It
football.
depends if we can beat Burnley. in the,
Good point. Shout out Sean Dyche. So the first of our semi-finals, we've got Arsenal against Atletico Madrid, as Guillaume Balaguer would say. Are we looking forward to this one, Arsenal fans?
Yeah.
I am,
Are you?
personally. I mean, obviously it's not the draw we wanted
No.
in the semi-final.
No.
Well, some people may have wanted it, but I didn't.
No.
But I think in knockout football, Arsene Wenger's pretty strong. He's shown that in recent times.
I can't wait to play this clip back to you.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear it back. But yeah, I think with us being underdogs as well, I think we could surprise a lot of people, especially with Lacazette being our main Europa League striker now, even though he has played in the Premier League. But I think that was mostly because we didn't have the Thursday game that week against Newcastle. But so I think he is going to be a key part to us doing well in the Europa League. So is Aaron Ramsey, and I think those two will create something special.
All right. Home leg first. Are you happy with that?
Not particularly,
No.
but you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were going to have to face them at the Emirates anyway. So
That's true. Might as well get it over with.
yeah,
So, Connor, what are your thoughts going into this one? You're
Well, I
another
think-
Arsenal fan.
I think we're underdogs, or we're viewed as underdogs at least. And I think in the past, when we've been in the Champions League and we've been clear underdogs against Bayern Munich and Barcelona, we've often surprised them, especially at the home leg, and sometimes in the away leg. But it just hasn't been enough because their quality is far superior. However, this time I think we're underdogs, but our quality isn't that inferior, and I think we've definitely got a chance to definitely surprise them. I do think they're very solid defensively, but we're very good going forward, and it basically just comes down to how many mistakes we make at the back,
yeah.
whether we give them chances, because they're good going forward, but I wouldn't say they're the best.
I think that might be another reason why Koscielny hasn't had that much minutes recently, because of his Achilles problem.
Yeah.
might be resting him so we don't have another Bayern Munich where he comes off at half-time injured.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then,
that was a bad game, wasn't it?
well, it was bad second half.
Yeah.
But I think he, even though he's fallen off a bit this season,
Yeah.
he will be a major key to the games because I can't trust Mustafi
No.
on his own. And it's something that's a big problem.
I think Arsenal's defence has come under a lot of scrutiny lately.
Deserved.
From a non-Arsenal fan perspective, Ryan or Henry, if you want to throw your opinion here, what do you think?
I think, from Arsenal's point of view, you have to beat the best to be the best.
Yeah.
Oh my!
So
Quote.
I'd have rather
Soundbite.
I'd have rather come up against Atletico in the semi-final where arguably there's less pressure because it's not the final,
Mhm.
and you've beaten probably the favourites in the competition, and then you're rewarded by coming up against Marseille or Salzburg, who you know you're more than likely to beat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think you may be disappointed now, but it could have been worse in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm also surprised that your two's opinions of being underdogs.
Oh, God.
I just can't believe I'm used to Arsenal being not right up there,
Yeah.
but being around there. So I'm not saying Atletico aren't good, but I just think from a neutral,
Yeah.
I would always think Arsenal could beat Atletico.
Yeah. No, I think, speaking for me, I am confident that we can beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just think the general public view Arsenal as the underdogs.
Me.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what
I think our form this season in Europa League, using different teams as well, because in the group stage we mostly fielded youngsters and we basically cruised through the group.
Mm.
Then when we've put our first 11 into the Europa League knockout stages, they've also done reasonably well.
Yeah.
Osterson.
Yeah. No, but we didn't really play a first team.
No, but even so, we should never have lost that.
Yeah, I
game.
know.
I
That
just
Welsh
think
madness incoming.
with the signings you made, I always at the start of the year I remember I spoke to you Art,
Mm,
and I thought you were going to be pushing for the title maybe with Aubameyang and Lacazette up front,
yeah.
and Kolasinac was a good signing on the field
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
But it's just defensive. I just don't understand how you've been.
Mm.
It's
That's
mistakes after mistakes.
But why? I just
No, but I mean, with the Czech podcast that went out last week, it's not just down to him. It's
people in
the
front.
defense as a unit. They make the same mistakes
Yeah.
over and over, and that just gets so frustrating to watch.
yeah, I can imagine.
And even recently, Arsene Wenger, who you wouldn't see, you don't normally see him frustrated.
Mm.
There's been times where he has really lost it,
Yeah.
because of stupid mistakes like
Mm.
that.
Do you reckon that's pressure on him though?
No,
No, he's always had the pressure. on
I
him.
think the defensive errors that have occurred, there's nothing he could do about it.
No, it doesn't.
Mhm.
So I don't think that pressure should fall on him. I think it should fall on the players that make the mistakes, but he defends them too much.
So they're in a comfort zone.
Yeah,
They don't need to worry about it when they make a mistake, so they
Mm.
just keep making it over
Used
and
to be
over
a bit
again.
spoon-fed when they need to be told.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's like what a lot of people are like, what does Steve Bold actually do?
He-
Like,
He stands in when Wenger's in the stands.
but I think you look at Mustafi, if you look at the Southampton and Newcastle games, the goals we concede
Mm.
from him are almost carbon copies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he pointed the blame at Chet, didn't he?
Yeah.
For the
He's
Southampton goal.
a shadow of what he could be,
Yeah.
or what he has shown that he can be.
He's a World Cup winning centre half in
Yeah.
Germany.
But that's the thing as well. It was the same in Bayern because he was next to Koscielny. He was doing all right.
Yeah, yeah,
Koscielny went off.
yeah.
I remember, I can't remember who it was, but they cut him from the left. And as they're
yeah.
coming into the box, he's shouting at Bellerin
Yeah.
to do something. So I think he might believe he is a leader, but
I don't think
he's
he is.
just he doesn't go about it in the right way.
He might be a leader, but like you said, like that defence capitulated when Koscielny went off. So he might be a leader, but he obviously needs that
Other leader.
I think
yeah,
he's basically a second in command.
But to be honest, if in fairness to him, if you look at Germany's defence internationally, their defenders are all leaders. So maybe he's got away with that.
Well, he's also got one of the best German centre halves has been in Mertesacker there.
Yeah.
So surely, if he's struggling, if it was me, I'd go up to him and say,
"Give me some help."
Yeah, just some advice.
Obviously we don't know what he has done, but he hasn't been very good in recent matches.
Do you think he misses Koscielny next to him? That's what.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think the problem is for Arsenal is that Koscielny, and you touched on it, Art, he's not performing to what he can. I think I know I've definitely had doubts in him since that Hazard goal last season. I know obviously you could say it's a brilliant goal by Hazard. It was a great goal where he ran like half the pitch, but it was from that moment that I thought Koscielny's looking his age a bit now. He's losing it, but obviously you can't say that because there's been times since then where he's been brilliant. But
I think that's something that's always been there with Koscielny though. He has that kind of red mist, I guess.
Yeah.
Where he can just do anything.
Yeah.
Like
some tackles.
Yeah. I remember last game of the season against Everton last year. Needless challenge on the halfway line, and he gets sent off. And you're just thinking, what is going through your head?
But like you say, it's not out of character, is it?
Yeah, it's not. So even though our defence is better with him in there, there's still a chance of the defence costing us the game.
Yeah. Do you think Mustafi needs Koscielny for that leadership, but Koscielny at times almost also needs like a even more senior?
I don't know.
Someone.
I don't think
imagine
Koscielny doesn't need anyone as much as Mustafi does.
Yeah.
But
I think he's got Czech behind him. But do you think maybe? I mean, I don't know how much of a leader, you guys can help me, how much of a leader Petr Cech would be. But
he doesn't appear to.
Yeah.
Do you think if Koscielny had like a goalkeeper behind him who was...
I'm not sure, because...
Just to keep the defence in shape, like...
When we moved to 3 at the back, the defence was relatively sound.
Yeah.
So I think it's just getting bodies around him, so he doesn't have to do all the work.
Yeah.
Because then, if he spends most of his defensive time running towards his goal, and doing other stuff, he doesn't have enough time to think through what he actually needs to do.
Yeah.
But if he's got someone else around him, then he can be a bit more comfortable and make some better decisions.
Ryan, what do you think of Arsenal's defence at the moment?
Well, it's not great, is it? But I think Atletico could have a really easy time of it because obviously they've got Diego Costa back, who loves playing against us.
Oh yeah, I
think he's got
about
6 in 3. Like even when he doesn't play well, like the FA Cup final, where Rob Holding played him off the park, but he still gets a goal.
Yeah,
like that's the type of player you need in these big games.
So he bullied Rob Holding for that goal as well.
Yeah,
just for the goal. The rest of it.
Yeah, but that.
But
like,
it just shows how
just
quality
for the goal
he is.
he scored.
And over 2 legs, he could, and with Antoine Griezmann as well. Their partnership since he's returned in January has been quite good.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. Actually, I forgot about that. So now that I've just realised that if Koscielny plays, he's getting sent off. Then do you reckon?
No, well,
I
think against Griezmann, he might know how to play against him. Because he knows him a little bit.
But
in terms of Costa being there, I think the player who would probably be most likely to react is Mustafi.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't... Well, actually, him and Koscielny actually played quite well against Costa when we beat Chelsea 3-0 at the Emirates.
Yeah.
I just think Koscielny knows what he's about.
Yeah.
Mustafi's only played against him once or twice, so he might bite like Gabriel did.
Costa's very good at getting in defenders' heads.
Yeah, he'll
in the
either score or get sent off.
Yeah, he tried to do it in the cup final, didn't he? Like we said, against Rob Holding.
Yeah.
Do you reckon we should play Rob Holding instead of Mustafi?
It's not a bad shot because he didn't play badly against Newcastle when he came in.
No, he didn't.
Well, like, just going back to Koscielny getting sent off, the only reason why Holding played in that final was because...
Yeah.
So if Koscielny didn't get sent off, it could have been a completely different final.
But again, Mertesacker played in that final.
He played out of his skin as well.
And that was his first start of the season.
Yeah, incredible.
And he was the man of the match.
Man management by Arsene Wenger is just... It's
Thank
like
you,
my World Cup dream.
I think...
Carrot captain.
But obviously Mertesacker's not going to play in these things. But I think...
At the moment, he's better than Mustafi.
Yeah, I think you need to, like Henry said, you need to use him in a way that can strengthen us, even if he's not on the pitch. And it just doesn't seem like he's doing that.
Yeah.
No.
All right, so let's move on from that a little bit to what do you think about the key matchups in this game?
Got to be Costa, isn't it?
Yeah.
Costa.
Against
Costa
everyone.
against the Arsenal defence.
Yeah.
Who do we think is going to be responsible for Griezmann?
Probably Koscielny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not too... Well, I don't want to say it now because he's probably going to score. I'm not that worried about Griezmann. I'm much more worried about Costa if he plays.
I'm equally worried because...
There is a question mark over Costa's fitness at this moment in time.
For me, because Griezmann's not a natural striker. I mean, he is, but he likes to drop off and stuff.
Yeah,
that can create even more problems.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying with you think Koscielny's going to be the one picking him up because at times he goes so deep to get that ball. If it's Koscielny's responsibility, well, obviously he'll pass it on to the midfield then.
Yeah, and then that's where even more weakness comes in.
And
you need Coquelin.
Don't get me started.
Coquelin on Griezmann.
But I think the communication is key, but we won't see it.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why Griezmann scares me.
Yeah.
Do you reckon if we started, for example, we started both El Neni and Xhaka, do you reckon we'd be able to deal with Griezmann that way? Like stick El Neni on him?
I think El Neni, yes. Xhaka, no.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If we started both of them, I'd rather start both because I rate Xhaka, as you know. I'd rather start both of them than just El Neni.
Yeah. I think possibly because obviously Xhaka would sit as well.
Yeah. But El Neni could just follow Griezmann around.
So maybe, but it's hard.
Yeah. It's another one of those, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's difficult. Henry, do you have any key matchups that you think in this one?
It's difficult because I was just thinking now, the Atletico team, I don't know who usually starts for them apart from like Costa, Griezmann.
Yeah.
The only other one I can really think of is like Godin,
Saul,
Oblak.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Saul. Yeah, Koke's alright.
So
Oblak.
It's difficult. I think centrally again, that's going to be a big part because you've got all these playmakers for Madrid, and then you've got these, I would say, like tough tackling midfielders in Xhaka and El Neni, but Xhaka's a lot like Koscielny, I feel, and Mustafi. He's got a mistake in him.
Yeah.
Although in recent weeks he's improved a bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think with Xhaka, he needs security behind him.
Yeah.
To allow him to actually do what he does best.
He actually, in my opinion, he improves our team so much going forward, especially when he's in the team. He allows us to.
He's a bit of a luxury though, isn't he?
Yeah, but he
offers something different.
And he creates from deep, which El Neni can't do that in the way that he does.
Yeah.
We haven't got anyone else like him.
He gets us up the pitch quickly.
Yeah,
I think at the moment though, the main issue for him is that's like all he. Not well, but that is all he does.
Yeah,
and I think to really be like a key member of the team, he's got to add to that and get his defensive side. Well, we know he can do it.
Yeah,
we know that he can.
Well,
but in the big games, he definitely needs the support.
Yeah. I was just thinking like at the other end, if you got like Aubameyang, Lacazette against people like Godin.
Aubameyang's cup tied.
Oh,
So,
yes.
Like,
So that's a bit different, isn't it?
yeah. So if he was playing,
Yeah.
I'd say go 2 up top.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But we could still go 2 up top with Welbeck because he's been
it
in
will
good form.
effectively.
Don't.
It will be like like when we played against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Aubameyang is off the left, a
Yeah.
bit like what Welbeck would do. I think that's probably what we'll do
Mm.
in those 2 games.
And Welbeck's actually been in good form recently. He's playing with confidence.
Yeah.
He does the defensive work
Yeah.
as well as going forward.
That would be important.
He's never really hit the heights we thought he would. But he's a brilliant player.
He's so unpredictable.
He's a good squad player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely someone that's good to have around.
And I don't know how the Madrid players would deal with him. He could do anything but nothing.
They might not be used to the pace of the game as well.
Yeah.
I mean, when they played Chelsea earlier this season, we beat them at their ground, and we drew with them at home, but we were the much better team.
Mm.
Yeah.
And Griezmann was quiet. I know he didn't have Costa to support him, but he was quiet.
Yeah.
So they're beatable.
Yeah.
Like, they finished third in their Champions League group.
Yeah.
Like Roma beat them. I think they only just beat Karabag.
Mm.
So they're not the best.
Yeah. I think people like to romanticize about them
Yeah.
a bit too much, but
Yeah.
that's not taken away from their quality.
Yeah.
I think now's one of the best times to play him.
I agree.
Probably.
Mm.
Right. Do you want to? Has anyone else got anything burning in their heart that they want to say about this game before we move on to the next?
I think going forward, for us, we, like they can do to us, we can carve them apart easily.
Yeah.
At home, we need a big performance at home. Big performance.
I think if you saw our performance against CSK Moscow, I know it's not the same quality.
Yeah.
But if we replicate that,
we could have had
then
12.
we will annihilate them.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the second leg, hopefully we won't have too much to worry about. But I think, obviously, it depends what Arsenal turns up.
Yeah.
But I think with it being knockout football, I would hope that the Arsenal of the FA Cup of recent years shows up.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to take some score predictions on that one. So start with the two Arsenal fans. So Connor, just going first leg. What do you think? Well, you can say you can say the overall tie if you want. What do you think?
Okay, I'll go first leg first. But I want to be optimistic, and I'm sorry if I am a bit optimistic, but I think we could take them by surprise.
Okay.
And I'm going to say 3-1.
Okay.
First leg, and then we might lose the second leg. Just depends how much by.
I think if we score first leg, we will win.
Yeah.
3-1.
Yeah.
If we concede, we will lose.
Well, I'd say if we concede, I don't know if we'll win, but I don't know if we'll lose. I think we might be able to come back into it, but especially at home. At home,
I'm not sure.
Normally, when we fall behind at home, whoever we're playing, we normally have a bit of fight in us.
I don't know. I think we'll show a response, but if we concede first at home in the first leg, we'll lose 2-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Ryan?
I can't see Arsenal scoring 3 times against a Diego Simeone Atletico team.
Nice.
When they don't tend to concede a lot, like that, he sets them up really well defensively. So if Atletico get 1, I think they'll shut the game down and just be happy with a 1-0 win and take it back to their ground where they're usually quite good.
So you're going 1-0?
Yes.
Yeah, nice one. And Henry?
Is it at the Emirates first?
Yes.
See, I'd like to say Arsenal would be better at home than rather in Spain. but I can just see some sort of mistake happening from someone, but I don't know who. And I think
Staffy.
Yeah.
Griezmann.
Save this interview.
I can't call it. See, because of that, I'm tempted to say a 2-2, but then Ryan's just said about the defence thing, so I'm thinking that's just not going to happen. So I'm going to go 1-1 in the first leg, and then a 1-0 win to someone in the second leg.
All right.
Someone is going to get it. I think.
It's going to be tight.
I'll say Arsenal.
All right.
I'll go Arsenal.
Nice one. And I'm saying 3-1 Atletico.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So I like to be a little bit.
Yeah.
No, just not different. It should be fair. Let's be. We've spoken for quite a while on that one. Obviously, got more expertise in it, having two Arsenal fans here. But we have got to mention the other semi-final leg. Be interesting to see how much you guys know about it. So I think you probably know more than I will. It's Marseille against Salzburg, and it's Salzburg away. Sorry, I should have said it's Marseille at home for the first leg. Anybody got any thoughts on that one?
I can't. Yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of the Liverpool-Roma game. Like with the Atletico Arsenal game, it's like two big teams who you might expect to get to a European semi-final.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Salzburg, nobody would expect an Austrian team to get this far.
No.
Like they've beaten teams who they shouldn't really, like Lazio. They've come through really well. And Marseille, who did they beat in the? Was it Leipzig?
Leipzig.
Yeah.
I think they came.
They came from behind.
Yeah, they came from behind to get through. So I think that'll be an interesting game. I can't really call it.
Yeah.
I think Marseille will win over the two legs, and I think they'll probably win the home leg comfortably, but Salzburg will show some sort of reaction at their place.
So, I think Salzburg will beat Marseille.
Yeah, that's what I
because did they play Dortmund in the Europa League? Did they? Is that right?
think. I think so.
Yeah, and I think I watched that game, and I think it's similar to Atletico. They put in like a really good performance in the first leg, and they just shot the second. And I think in their team they've got, I think it's De Boer and what's it on Berisha or something, and they both got 5 goals each. And I think that's like right up there with like the top scorers in the competition. So that just shows they can score goals as well as put in a performance against a Dortmund team, who I would say are similar to Marseille. They're not the best in their country, but they're not the worst. Like they're around that sort of level. So I could see Salzburg going through, but I could see Marseille. It's tough.
But just on that, with me, I think Marseille I would back Marseille over Dortmund because of Payet and Florian Thauvin. I think they on their own, on their day, they can change any game they want.
That's true.
So that's a big reason why I'm swaying towards Marseille.
Yeah, I think Tauvin's been excellent really the past 2 seasons now. He's really come on
since he left Newcastle.
yeah, exactly. And I think like you say, that could and we all know what Dimitri Payet can do from his time with the Amas.
Irons.
But yeah, it's gonna be another interesting game. Like you say, it's gonna be similar to the Liverpool Roma fixture. Connor, do you have any thoughts on this one? Who do you think is gonna?
Well, I think Salzburg will win because I think man for man Marseille are much better. As you say, Payet and Thauvin, quality players. And I think if Marseille want to win, they'll be key. But I think Salzburg tactically, as Henry was saying, beating Dortmund and being able to do both sides of the game. I don't know how. I know Marseille came back. I don't know how good they are defensively. I'm sure they're okay, but I just think we'll see a surprise in Salzburg.
Who played Lazio in the last round?
Salzburg.
That was them, wasn't it? When they came back from was it 4? What was the score in that?
I think they won a second
4-2.
leg for 1 or 2.
Yeah, it was,
See, no one's
might have been
expecting
4-2.
that,
But yeah, and Lazio are a very good team.
Yeah.
So I
thought they were going to go on to like the final. I thought Lazio.
Yeah.
But
Be
that
good
just
for them.
shows.
Pretty good for them. That underdog story. Wow. Actually, I don't really want to say that about well, obviously Salzburg are like the underdogs, but they're in terms of like the money that's being pumped into their club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But don't be surprised if Salzburg just tactically outwit Marseille in this one.
Do you think?
I think with it, the first leg being at Marseille is a big factor though,
Yeah.
because of the atmosphere their fans can create.
Yeah.
It's
going to be hostile for Salzburg.
I think they could make it very difficult for Salzburg.
Yeah.
And with Marseille feeding off that could just make them even stronger.
The first leg will decide it, I think.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me if there's protests, to be honest, against like Salzburg.
Oh yeah.
The ownership and stuff like that. And that's going to play in Marseille's favour, really.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be similar to the Liverpool against Manchester City with the Liverpool attacking the bus.
Yeah.
I think.
But wouldn't Salzburg be used to that by now? Surely, like Dortmund, maybe even that, so they would have probably protested.
But I don't think, they would protest. I think the Marseille fan base would probably bring more hostile protest.
We know the culture of like Dortmund and Lazio, more so Dortmund, like their ability to create an atmosphere and stuff like that. But I think Marseille really as in like hostile atmosphere.
Yeah, I
think they're more likely. Yeah, so, it's a different kind of atmosphere really, and there's gonna be a lot of pressure. They'll even make it hostile for their own players because they want their own players to do well.
Yeah,
and Marseille, obviously, they haven't got this far really of late in European competition.
Yeah,
but they will be more familiar with it than Salzburg. So their players might be able to deal with the pressure a bit more.
Yeah.
A bit better. Sorry. So I think that might just sway it.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Do we have any key matchups?
I think the two goal scorers for Salzburg.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The two I mentioned, De Boer. I've heard of. I don't know too much about him.
No.
But I've heard his name around. So I think he'll be.
Yeah.
It's good. Well, I think in that sense, then it's going to be interesting to see what he brings. If we've heard about him, but don't really know what he's got. I think definitely for us, as we aren't avid Marseille and Salzburg fans, but what we do know, we think what we think, and it's going to be quite a learning curve for probably a lot of people. It's really good that teams like this are getting into the Europa League semi-final.
It's a bit like Ajax last year. I know everyone knows about Ajax, but everybody kind of hears about their players but doesn't see them.
Yeah.
So like Dolberg last
year. Yeah. I think it was a real shame in the end that they performed the way they just didn't quite. If they'd have set the world alight in that final.
But even off the back of that final, Davinson Sanchez got a move to Tottenham.
He did, yeah.
So this is like players at Salzburg's chance.
Definitely. Salzburg more than Marseille, I think we'd all agree.
Yeah,
it's their chance.
There'll
to show
definitely
themselves.
be at least a couple from Salzburg after this run that will move to the big leagues.
They've got experience of it because I think Sadio Mane,
Naby Keita as well was at Salzburg.
So
and Kevin Campbell, who plays.
Yeah,
he moved from Salzburg to Leipzig, but
so it's an opportunity to really showcase themselves.
Sorry.
And put them on the European map, so to speak.
Yep. And we know, Marseille's similar really, but obviously a lot of French players actually
their defense
struggle in Premier League, but no, it's fine.
Their defense might be a bit shaky though.
Yeah.
Because
a bit of an older defense.
Yeah,
isn't it?
they've got Rami. And Abendanor.
Oh yes.
He's
Roman Abdenor.
So I can't. Sorry. But yeah, they might be a bit iffy.
Yeah.
Like if Salzburg want to go and attack them, then they could be a bit weak.
Yeah. Let's see these new strikers. Well, these strikers from Salzburg come and tear them up.
Yeah.
I hope they do. I hope there's a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Do we want to do score predictions? Well, Not do we want to do it? You're going to do it, but I mean, like, anyone else with any,
I think, seeing as Salzburg got through to this 6-5 on aggregate, was it?
Something like that, yeah.
And then Marseille beat Leipzig 5-2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting goals. But obviously, because it's the first leg and they might be a bit standoffish, that might not happen. So I'm gonna go 2-1 Marseille.
Okay. Nice one to start us off. Ryan, what do you think?
I'm hoping Salzburg will do it because it would be nice to see a different team, like not a team from one of the big countries like France, England, Spain, someone from a smaller nation get to a European final.
Mm-hmm.
I assume Salzburg have won the Austrian division. They've won it however many years in a row.
All right, I think they've won it 5 times since, or maybe 8 times since being 8 times since being taken over by Red Bull.
So I think, like, if they get to the Europa League final and even win it, like, I think it'd be amazing, not just for Austrian football but for European football. To show, just obviously the teams from the Champions League dropped down. But just because they dropped down doesn't mean they're automatically going to win it.
I think that rule should kind of be abolished in the Europa League. It kind of like, what's the word?
Well, they like earned their place in their Champions League.
I think it disrespects the competition.
Definitely,
For a team like Östersunds, like they came through the first qualifying round, got all the way through, and then played in the first knockout round or second knockout round.
They beat Galatasaray.
If they get through all that and then they have to play a team who's dropped out of the Champions League,
it's not fair at all.
It's not really fair.
It's well, obviously it is a contest, but I think maybe they should think about getting rid of that. So Ryan, did you have your score?
First leg, I'll go 2-1 Salzburg.
Okay. Henry.
I agree with Ryan in the sense I want to see a different team up there. But I also want to see Marseille go back to like challenging for European competitions. And it's difficult because I'm sort of torn between the two. Because I know Salzburg can come back and get a away victory, which I think they will do. So that's why I'm going to go a 2-1 Salzburg win, like Ryan.
Nice one. And Connor?
I'm going to go 2-2. I definitely think there will be goals, and I think potentially Salzburg will make a surprising start for Marseille, but at home and in that atmosphere, I think they'll be urged on to at least equalise. But I do think Salzburg might edge it over the 2 legs.
I'm going 2-2 as well for that first leg. Desmond. Both teams got goals in them. I want to see that attacking, flowing football. Even if defences are bad, doesn't bother me as long as there's a lot of goals.
Proper football.
So just quickly, on the Europa League, do we have any favourite finals?
Yeah, I do.
Go on, Ryan. What's your favourite Europa League final?
Year after we won the Champions League, we went on to win the Europa League in 2013.
This is Chelsea, in case
it
you
is,
didn't
yeah,
know that
sorry.
Ryan was a Chelsea.
2-1 win against Benfica in Amsterdam. Like the goal from Torres.
Amsterdam.
Is like Torres obviously at Chelsea wasn't the player he was, but it was nice to see him get an important goal in a European final. And then the last minute winner from Ivanovic.
That header was unreal.
It's a great header.
So it was obviously Chelsea fans aren't the biggest fans of Rafa Benitez, but he helped us win.
Gave you a career.
He helped us win the Europa League and like really helped to start what Mourinho went on to do. Really
set the foundations, didn't he?
Arguably, yeah. It might not be a favourable opinion amongst Chelsea fans, but I think he helped.
But if it's your opinion,
Did he sign Hazard, or was it just the board?
I assume it was the board, but he was signed under Di Matteo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before. All right. Does anyone else have a favourite final? You don't have to put your hand up. You can talk. No.
I do, but obviously there haven't been many English teams
No, yeah.
in Europa League
Doesn't have
finals.
to be English.
But mine includes a Scottish team and a Russian team.
Rangers.
Yeah.
Hashtag Jers.
Oh, it's similar to the Champions League one, 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good year for European finals.
Zenit St. Petersburg versus Rangers. For me, it was the first time I saw Andrei Arshavin play.
Okay.
And that's kind of, I don't know. It was just, that made me like him as a player. And then off the back of that, seeing him at Euro 2008 was just unreal. And with him signing for Arsenal less than a year later, that kind of period of time was just, I don't know, it makes me emotional.
Does it give you endorphins?
Yeah, it gives me what they call endorphins. But yeah, I think he was a special talent.
Special guy.
Special.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of generation of football is something that I will remember forever.
Do either of Connor or Henry have a...
We were talking about this before, and I just remembered the Fulham Atletico.
All right.
Was that the final?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? I think if you were to say now, Fulham in the final of a European competition.
Ryan Sessegnon.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen.
Big game tomorrow. Come on, you Whites.
It's weird to see, cause if I remember, they didn't have the best team, did they? Like,
They had a decent.
It was okay, but it wasn't like
not European final.
Yeah, it's similar to Salzburg.
Yeah.
Now, like, you wouldn't expect an Austrian team to get as far as they had.
Red Bull Fulham.
There you go. But yeah, I think Atletico at the time they had like Diego Forlan, Aguero.
Yeah, they did.
Really?
Who else did they have? They had
Was Falcao there? Or was that?
No, that was a bit early.
I think they had De Gea in goal as well. So like, it wasn't as good as he is
really?
now. I think so.
Are you sure? When was this?
2009-10.
Right?
Yeah,
Was
it
it?
was a year
sorry,
before he joined
sorry.
United.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my bad. I'm way out there.
So yeah, like obviously you expect Atletico to be there, but for Fulham to put up such a good contest against them was good to see from an English point of view, even though they didn't win.
Clint Dempsey, man.
Like their whole campaign was, like they beat Juventus. They beat, like I think they only qualified through the fair play. Like in the Premier League, they had the least amount of like red cards, yellow cards. So I think that's how they qualified, but I might be wrong.
Would be Fulham though to have the least yellow cards, red cards.
I think they've like abandoned that route into European football now. So
makes sense though.
Yeah. But it's good to see a team like Fulham qualify and not just compete, beat big teams and almost win.
Yeah, I mean they did score, didn't they? So.
Happened a few times, didn't it? With like lower English teams, like Wigan,
Portsmouth.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't have any memorable finals, but I just want to mention Tottenham. How many times they've been in it? So like Fulham made it to the final.
Yeah.
Was that the only time they were in it?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
How many times have Tottenham been in it and they've never been close?
Just saying that as an
I
Arsenal.
mean, Fulham did have Fulham did have
that's my
Bobby
only
as well,
memory of them being on ITV4. Just watching them
Channel
in like last 16 or something, and them just getting knocked out. And
Fazio, disaster class.
yeah,
Fazio's going to be in the semi-final with Roma. Isn't he?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Him and Manolas.
It was a Bobby's a more a masterclass though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scenes in the playoff final, QPR. Oh, what a guy, Bobby Zamora.
All right, and guys, so I don't have a favourite. So do we want to wrap it up there? Should we wrap it up there?
Shall we?
Voice coaching.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the Fulham team in the final.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous how they got so far.
I know.
Mark Schwarzer, Chris
Chelsea
Baird,
legend.
Aaron Hughes, Brede Hangeland, Paul Konchesky, Damien
Remember
Duff,
when we wanted to sign?
Yeah.
Damien Duff, Dixon Atuhu, Danny Murphy, Simon Davies, Zoltan Gira, and
what
Bobby
play.
Gira.
Gira.
Like that team got to a they beat Juventus, they beat Wolfsburg, they beat Shakhtar.
That was when Xhaka was at Wolfsburg as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when Burnley get Europa League football this season, they can replicate and get to
Yeah.
the final.
Oh my god, yeah.
Burnley
Cannot
Chelsea's
wait.
final.
Cannot wait. Shout out Sean Dyche again. I think we've already done it once.
Our manager of the year
Yeah.
in our team of the season
But
podcast.
you'll have to check out that podcast.
You just spoiled it.
No, but I didn't give
It's
them
already
our
out,
actual
Connor.
team of the year.
They've already seen it weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for the 10,000 likes. All right then. So, anything else on the Europa League before we sign off?
I think, like we said earlier, the kind of Champions League teams dropping in kind of devalues it,
Yeah.
as well as winning it, giving you a place in the
Yeah.
Champions League.
Yeah.
Although that's kind of all Arsenal want to win it for,
Yeah.
that kind of
True. Yeah.
gives it a little less
Yeah.
value.
Yeah.
Although given that some Champions League teams drop down, I do think it's an underrated competition. You can't underestimate how
Yeah.
difficult it is to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Tottenham.
I think that's a big topic for maybe another podcast.
Yeah.
Couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Leave a like if you want to see that. Comment anything you want us to talk about, by the way, because we're always open and we talk about anything. Obviously, mainly football related. We don't know much else. But yeah, we can always do that. So any final thoughts, or are we ready to go?
I think that's it.
Yeah? All right, so thanks everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed this Europa League podcast ahead of the semi-final. We've got Arsenal against Atletico, where we think first leg, both our Arsenal fans think that Arsenal are going to do it, but the rest of us aren't so confident. And then Marseille against Salzburg, where we think it's once again, actually, it's quite a split. We've got each game has got a minimum of 3 goals, so in our predictions. So look forward to that one. Hopefully there's a few goals. Thank you guys for joining me today. Thanks, Henry, for being a special guest.
Thanks for having me.
That's all right. Stepping in. And, follow our Twitter at Unplayables Pod. Like and subscribe to our channel. Check out our blog as well, Unplayables blog. The link is in our Twitter.
Goal of the week
Yeah.
as well.
And we also have a FIFA Pro Clubs Goal of the Week competition going on. Just a bit of fun if you want to drop us a vote. Let us know who this week's Goal of the Week is going to be. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks
to all of you guys.
See you
for
later.
being here.
Thank you for hosting
If you
again.
want to say goodbye,
Bye-bye.
see you soon.
Goodbye.
So thanks for listening and goodbye.